Hi everybody, in this LYNX Whiteboard training video we're going to look at the main toolbar that you get at the bottom of the screen in LYNX. Now let's find it. Tour of the main features. So in the middle of my screen across there we can see the toolbar that you would normally get at the bottom of your screen on your device. You can see at the moment it's not there, and that's because I am in presenting mode at the moment. So in the middle at the bottom I just have my presenting tools. I have my selector so that I can select anything on the page that I'm allowed to select, and you'll see that I haven't set anything to be allowed to be selected there as I'm using my touch screen, but I do have some pens. So with my pens, if I tap twice I can choose the thickness of my pen, the colour of my pen, and I can then start writing, so I can be making some notes. So that's my ink pen effect. Here we've got the fine tip pen, so again I can pick a colour and the thickness of the pen and I can start writing on the screen. So you can see this time if I start to draw something on the screen, the lines aren't as inky looking. And then here we've got my highlighter pen, and again I can choose a thickness. If I want a very different colour, so I can use this pipette for example, and the pipette means I can select a colour that I would find on the screen. So now I have a pink highlighter that I can use on the screen. I also have a laser pen. This pen will disappear after a few seconds after I've pointed something out, and I also have the eraser, which means that I can erase anything that I've added, but it will leave the original content alone. Back on the selector, because I've added these notes, I can now select this and mess around with it if I wanted to, and the same with my image over here. On the far left you will see a hamburger menu where I can choose to come out of presenting, or if I want to show this page in full screen. I can even access some help if I find it's not working correctly, where I can report an issue. But mainly we would just want to come out of here and stop presenting. But also what I can do down here is I can go through the various pages of my presentation, and I can also tap on some options for my presentation. The main ones being turn on a curtain, so I can reveal things in stages, or maybe a spotlight, so that I can make things a bit more mysterious and we can pinch and zoom on there as we wish. Turn that off. But let's stop presenting now. And now that I've stopped presenting, I've taken away my annotations, and we can now see the toolbar at the bottom of the screen. Now we can actually change where that is. That could be at the top or the sides of the screen. It's your choice. There's a video on the settings options where you can watch how I do that. But let's have a little look at the tools that we have in here. And I'm going to use a pen to help me while we do that. And we'll use the laser pen. So there are four main areas to the toolbar at the bottom of the page. First of all, there's the open menu, and in that hamburger menu are a range of options that you'll see. Things like being able to share and print, save your work, turn on split screen, and access the dashboard or the options area of LYNX. Secondly, we have everything to do with pages. So that's all about navigating the pages, having a look at the slide numbers and which slide we're currently on, and the page options. So I can use the arrows to go through my pages, tap on the numbers to reveal a slider bar of my pages, more on that in another video, and of course I have my various page options as well, such as going into the background mode. Then in the middle of the screen we have our actual creation tools. So we have my hand selector, we have the pens, the text boxes, the editing tools, and the additional content such as the media search, and also the LYNX Pro AI tools as well. And then finally in this section here we have the undo, redo and delete buttons. So whatever I'm doing on the page I can undo and redo mistakes. So if I was to pick a different pen on here and I was to start writing on the screen, so I am making notes, and if I wanted to undo that I could do that there, and it will undo each step of what I've been adding to the screen, but I can also redo it in stages as well. I also have a delete bin, and to use the delete bin, there's a variety of ways. I can either drag things to the delete bin. Let's undo that. I can highlight loads of things together and drag them all together to the delete bin, or even just hit the delete bin and get rid of them all that way, which is probably easier. Also, of course, I can just select a load of things and hit the delete bin or the backspace key on my keyboard of my laptop as well. So that is the main toolbar. Now, of course, there are other tools within LYNX, and if, for example, I select this arrow that will take me to the next page, you can see the floating toolbar that comes up underneath the item. And you'll see in one of my videos on the floating toolbar the fact that there's a range of icons, and it depends on the type of item you selected. But the main tools all live on the bottom row here, if that's where you choose to keep it. Look out for the next video as we start to explore some of the tools in more detail. Thank you.